Their sole source of power comes from this money system. They haven't a penny, they haven't stolen from us with trickery and theft. If we could shut off this tap of their money, they'd lose. It'd be game over. They lose control of us.
And this is a good friend of mine, John Briggs. And now John is an author. He's self-published because his book is too hot for the publishers to touch. And he's really had a battle trying to get it into the bookshops because of all the censorship. But it basically covers the banking mafia that are in control of this world right now. And the title is Alice and the Money Tree. So it's a bit of a twist on Alice in Wonderland. It's a fun, brief book, about 50 pages, covering what's going on with our banking system, how they're committing daylight robbery, using usury to basically control and manipulate the global population. So, yeah, please tell us a bit about your book, John, if you can, and what was your inspiration for writing it?
Well, I can't believe I was over 70 years old before I realized how the world worked. And basically, it's enslaved with money supply. And it's such an astonishing, jaw-dropping thing that the human brain struggles to understand it. But it's because it is so simple. Very basically, the money is borrowed into existence. It's created. When banks make a loan, they don't actually lend any money at all. They extend credit, which means they create brand new money, and they fraudulently charge compound interest for loaning nothing. It's really hard to take that in. It's a conjuring trick, and it hoovers up the wealth of every nation. And anyone that tries to interrupt this or wake people up to it, they run into trouble. And countries which try to shut out this international system, the leaders get assassinated and the countries get invaded in really short order. But you won't find this in any of the information channels, televisions, newspapers, because every outlet is controlled by the people who supply the money. It's like a sort of everybody knows what the mafia is, and it's rather similar to the mafia. Some people think it's family based. The main business is murder and loan sharking, just like the other mafia, but it's invisible, and their control is secret, and no one talks about it. Nobody mentions it. And the purpose of this book is to get people to understand it in an agreeable way, with perhaps an enjoyable read. Because if you tell people what to think and you make sort of political speeches, it's very hard to get penetration. But people can be, if it's something they want to do. And everybody likes stories, so that's why I put the book together. I've used the original John Tyndall wonderful drawings that were in the original Alice books. The copyright's off them, and I thought they're so good, I'm going to use them, and I have. So it's delightfully illustrated using the original Alice drawings, and it's in hardback to make it. It's not a paperback. It's to make it a bit more of an agreeable gift.
That's brilliant. And also, if you think about it, if everybody knew what was going on with the money supply, they wouldn't have any more money to roll out 5G, would they?
Absolutely. And if everybody knew that, all the if you like, these, what should we call them? They're called the elite. They're called which is a very poor name. They're called the shadow government, the secret people who seem to control everything. Their sole source of power comes from this money system. They haven't a penny, they haven't stolen from us with trickery and theft. If we could shut off this tap of their money, they'd lose. It'd be game over. They lose control of us. Yeah. And we would have so much extra money and time to enjoy our lives properly as God intended.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more, John. Well, look, I really appreciate your time. Could you show us the book very quickly now that we've got you here in clear view?
They are. Can you see it, John?
Alice and the Money Tree. And if you'd like one of these, you can contact me through 5gawareness.com through the contact page, and I'll make sure that John signs a copy for you. For now, they're in limited supply.
Yeah. Sure.
But we can definitely get you one in the post. Could you read us a quick passage?
Well, okay. I've tried to make it in the Alice style, if you like. So I'll just begin with the first chapter. Can you see that? This is the first chapter. Yeah. Money doesn't grow on trees, said Alice. Of course it does, retorted the March Hare scornfully. Money is paper, and paper is made from trees. Everybody knows that. Then how does it come to us? Asked Alice. You stupid child, snapped the Mad Hatter. The Bank of Wonderland presides over money creation. First, it declares the value, and then it's lent out at interest. Why does the bank declare that? Asked Alice. You must be very dull to ask that, replied the March Hare. All kingdoms do this. How else do you think the population can buy and sell things? The Dormouse briefly woke at this point and immediately fell asleep again. So if it's borrowed at interest, who pays it back? Asked Alice. Why, the population, retorted the March Hare with an exasperated sigh. You seem to have a very poor understanding of the simplest things. Well, who gets the interest when it's paid back? Asked Alice stubbornly. The men who create and lend the money, of course, snapped the March Hare. How else do you think they're able to buy their yachts and castles and all the kingdom's treasure? Who are these people? Asked Alice.
You've managed to get this into a few independent bookshops, but it has been a struggle, John. You've come under a lot of resistance.
Well, I can say one. Everybody knows this. A big bookshop was selling this, and then there was when people wanted to reorder from the stores, the message from the buyer was, "Do not reorder this book."
There are lots of great little cute images there from the Alice in Wonderland series, with lots of poetic passages breaking down exactly what's going on. And I think it's a great wake-up read gift for friends, family, at Christmas time, birthdays, any other time. And how much is it to buy one of your books, John?
It's £9.95, and if I sell one, I can print another two. I'm not. That's my purpose, is to do what I can to get people to understand what I have, and so few seem to. But people are waking up. There's this great battle going on in the world today between the Great Awakening and the Great Reset. The Great Reset is going to rack up the bondage and enslave us with transhumanism. Or if the Great Awakening, if that wins, then we can be free of 10,000 years of human slavery. This great contest we're in the middle of now. Don't know how it's going to finish up, but it's the most significant time in all human history, and I suppose in a way we are all privileged to be alive at this time, although deeply frightening.
And also, if people buy, say, a bunch of books, is there any special deal?
Yeah, get them to do it through you, John, and we'll arrange a good deal. Perhaps if it makes a great Christmas present. I actually had a banker who came back and bought another 10 from me, and he was a frontline merchant banker in the city of London. I think he understood how it worked, but he said nowhere in his education was he ever told how money worked. Isn't that extraordinary?
Yeah, especially in his line of work, he needed it. I mean, if they buy 10,
well, if they've got 10 people to buy Christmas presents for, let's say we'll make it up here and now. If they buy 8, they get 2 free. How's that?
That's brilliant. I think it's a great opportunity to buy gifts for all the family, and and also you can keep them for future birthday presents. Something that's really original.